Hey there, everybody. So, I'm here to kind of explain why I believed President Sunday's pinned comment by DGQC was transphobic. Now, I want to make very clear that this is not like turf stuff. Like, I'm not saying that like President Sunday is like that bad or anything, but I am saying that this is bad, and I think that as a community, especially involved in Deleuze and Guattari, we should, be serious about this. And the reason why is because if you've read any of Deleuze and Guattari, especially beyond Anti-Oedipus, you would know that, trans issues are actually really important to Deleuze and Guattari. That's what becoming woman is such a big focus. There's like a whole transgender element embedded into that discourse, right? And then, there's the whole becoming woman segment of chaosophy, right? And there's so much that Guattari has written about gender and women and trans stuff, and so you really can't be like, I really don't think that transphobia is really conducive to being serious about Deleuze and Guattari, especially Guattari, right? You can take these ideas in isolation and remove them and all this crap, but they're not the same thing then. You're just taking parts, you're taking things, right? And I personally like, the majority of the package, at least the parts that I understand sufficiently. And, the thing is that I'll read the comment to you, right? Now imagine you're in my shoes, right? And you are looking at this video that somebody told you to look at, right? And it was for a completely different reason. It had nothing to do with Philosophy Tube even. I can't even remember what they told me to look at. And I was just like, oh, great, now what, right? And the first thing I see on this video criticizing Philosophy Tube is this comment by President Sunday where he says, a cis man calling out a trans woman trash in this political climate is in very poor taste, actually. And a lot of people were confused by this comment when I showed them. They didn't understand the context. It was kind of something I had to explain. But quite a few people thought that President Sunday was actually claiming that Philosophy Tube is a man, which no, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. No, what he's saying that's problematic here, in my opinion, is that I think this is just a trivialization of the issues that we have to go through. Out of all the things to talk about with Philosophy Tube, right? The problem is not a cis man talking down to a trans woman, and it makes it even worse when President Sunday actually responded with what his reasoning behind it is, and I knew it would be something like this. All right, you're not really the super genius that you think you are, President Sunday. I already read the book. You just filled in the pages for me. All right, that's why I don't need to go on your podcast. All right, because you're gonna tell me everything I need to know anyway. So but the thing is that this is problematic because it's literally you imagine being in my shoes, right? And you read this and you're like, okay, so why the fuck is President Sunday gloating about a cis man being, putting down a trans woman in these politics and being sarcastic about it? Does he know what it's like to be a trans person? I don't know if that's really the angle I would go with. I found this to be pretty offensive, right? And this is not about political correctness, to be clear. First off, I'm a trans person, right? I will be honest with you, I don't really care that much about political correctness. I'd rather you just be honest so that you don't waste my time, right? Don't pretend to not be transphobic if you already hate trans people. If you hate trans people, just don't waste your time with me. I'm trans, okay? I don't know what to tell you. But, this is not it, man. This is not it. Our lives are very difficult, right? Our lives are very challenging, being a trans person just in the modern era is just really challenging. I've been threatened violently. I've been threatened with violence because I was taking a kid home and he thought that I was a PDF file, and I had to explain to him, this is my fucking stepson's friend. I was stoned when it happened too, so I was not sure what the danger was at first, and then it dawned on me. I was like, what the fuck, dude? This is my kid's friend. Fuck off. Right? I've been ogled in the bathroom, like, you get sexually harassed for being trans. Like, people will sexually harass you for being trans. It's like a very serious thing. They're, everybody's watching you if they think you're even remotely trans. And like, I actually pass pretty well in comparison to some trans people. And like, I feel like I need to be there to protect other trans people sometimes because of the harassment that they receive. It is dangerous to be trans. And on top of that, you are having all of your benefits denied. You're having all your shit cut. People are actively discriminating against you in the workplace and in school and all of this crap. They're figuring every which way to undercut you, right? And you're isolated, you're alone, your family abandons you. And a lot of trans people end up, committing suicide. And that's why I posted, the suicide of this girl, right? This woman, because, while, the President Sunday thing was unfolding and he joined our Discord server, like, yeah, we're not letting you talk in our Discord server, you idiot. Everybody knows who you are. Like, I already made a video about how you were a bully to my other friend. Like, what, everyone knows who you are. Who are you fooling? But like, when we were, talking about that, my girlfriend showed me that and it broke my heart because it was just like, that's the thing, we're really isolated. We're really alone. And you know what? I don't care what that woman's politics were. I don't care if she was a liberal or she had bad opinions or whatever. Like, she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve to feel that, to die. Right. And that's just the reality for a lot of trans people. And I don't even know if that's how she even died. We don't know. And this kind of trivialization is really inappropriate, especially in a philosophy where, transgender people are actually a really important part of it. And I understand that it appears that you've only read Anti-Oedipus because you seem unfamiliar with things like faciality and stuff. Maybe you have some familiarity with, nomadology because you've heard it here and there, but it feels like you're missing a big part of ATP. But a big part of ATP is becoming, and becoming woman is a big part of that. And because of that, transgender people are really important to, understanding Deleuze and Guattari. And I think that, this is not a matter of being politically correct. This is a matter of, being functionally correct, like I'm sure you can, a contradiction has never killed anybody. I'm sure you can come up with some bullshit transphobic interpretation of Deleuze and Guattari, but what are you really doing at that point then? Like, what are you really doing? Being a streamer online and just, going around and pretending to be a philosopher for profit. I don't know. I will admit, running a YouTube channel, it doesn't really make money. I can't work right now because I'm disabled, right? So, I get it. But I just don't think that this kind of behavior is appropriate. And I'm just going to be real with you. I am going to shoot this kind of shit down in the future as well, because I believe that, Guattari is not a passive philosophy. I believe that being active about it, being vocal, being loud, being direct, making machines is what matters. A lot of the reason why people think Guattari is really hard is because they don't want to think about real machines. They don't want to think about they don't want to think about like cars or computers or what those things actually do and how they work and how they function, right? And instead they would rather go around and talk about these abstractions and stuff. And the reality is that trans people are part of that machine. If you want to go around and be transphobic, then you are just missing a massive part of that discourse, and you really need to turn in your badge. That's all I got to say about that.